I want to talk about what I like about the Paysan. I've been a little bit of a negative Nancy. I'll be a positive Polly now. I absolutely love the finish on the blade. Try my best to capture this. It's a beautiful bead blast that is then high polished. It's something I've never seen on any metal finish. It's something I didn't think was possible without clear coating something. It looks pretty amazing. I haven't seen anything like this on a gun, on a car. The blade finish is truly beautiful. I also like that they matched it on the clip. Yes, it's the boring, as some think, regular Spyderco clip, but they matched it, which is great. And while it's not a custom titanium clip or whatever, sometimes custom titanium clips don't look good. I'm gonna try to say this in a way that's gonna get me in trouble on Spyderco forum. I got in trouble earlier for using asterisks to infer a word that is not poop, but means poop and is a little bit more vulgar. The Anthem has a custom clip. It's even different 3 screw pattern than the regular Benchmade. But it looks like a reproductive organ on a dragon. And though it is custom titanium, I honestly feel it doesn't look good, like at all. It looks like a dragon thing. I prefer the beautiful finish that matches the beautiful finish on the blade. The other thing I like about the Paysan is that pivot. That pivot looks awesome. And it's something that Zero Tolerance does on some of their knives. That just looks great. Like, it's not a regular screw or anything like that. To kind of crap on the Anthem again, that looks like something that you would get at Home Depot to install a cabinet hinge or a doorknob. It's just stands out, and it doesn't match anything at all on the knife. The knife has multiple finishes. It has a different finish for the thumb stud, different finish for the blade, and a different finish for the handle. This matches none of them. It's kind of ugly. They did a great job on the pivot here. One thing I noticed is the other Spyderco that has a beautiful pivot is the Capera. And I apologize if I am mispronouncing that, just like I did the word apologize. Good looking pivot here. I think it's actually the same one, which doesn't bother me. I love seeing them use it. The other thing that I really like is that they added this, and I'm going to remove it. Actually, I might return this knife, so I'm not sure if I will. But they added this little piece of plastic here so that the clip doesn't scratch the handle. It's something that Benchmade has been doing for years, and it's just a nice little touch. It's a little funny, though, because you can't really see anything under there. And the knife that they should be doing it on is the PM2, where they put the clip backwards. And I'm gonna try to get in on that. The fact that they put the clip backwards leaves marks on the PM2, especially the brass or bronze ones. Yeah, so if there is a Spyderco where they should be taking the Benchmade approach, it's probably not one where there's only one clip position and the clip will cover where any scratch marks are. It should probably be on the PM2 and the upcoming Military 2. But either way, it's a nice touch. Been playing with this knife all day, probably opened and closed it 300 times. That lock stick is still there, just as bad as it was before. I don't think it's gonna break in. I'll keep on playing with it. Overall, the beautiful finish on the blade, the clip, doesn't make up for the fact that it's a $920 MSRP, and some people are like, oh, stop quoting MSRP. $600 and something retail knife that has lock issues. And I don't think that the it'll break in approach is gonna apply here. It applies to some things, like a Les Baer 1911, which is an amazing gun for the $2,000 or so that it goes for. It'll outshoot guns that are twice as much. And they keep that price low because the final fitting is done from shooting it. You can't take these apart until it's had like 500 rounds through it. It's acceptable though. It's like a $2,000 1911 that can hang with a $4,000 custom. However, with the $4,000 custom, I expect it to be completely smooth because of that price increase. And they are. And this one is. This again has a lock that can't hang with a $100 Kaiser or a $50 Civivi liner lock. And that's just, it's still sad. Knife is beautiful. Wish they didn't screw it up by the bad lock, but there are some things about this knife that I like.